Now I'm here with pediatrician, mother and grandmother.
Yes.
Grandmother.
Grandmother.
Five grandbabies. Dr. Meg Meeker. She's one of my favorite people in the world. Meg has practiced pediatric and adolescent medicine for over 30 years. She's the author of 6 books. Meg, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me, Rachel.
This is so fun. And their book, Strong Fathers, Strong Daughters, I have to say, Winston and I are like obsessed. And I'm not a father, obviously.
Yeah.
But it is so good.
But it's a book for moms too, because
Yes.
it talks about a woman's heart, a girl's heart, a daughter's heart.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So I went out to our Facebook community and asked them, hey guys, give me questions for Dr. Meg Meeker because you're going to be here. So we're going to go to those questions. So Brittany asks, how do you raise only one child when there is no village? Small family, no cousins around his age, not a lot of help in terms of babysitting and giving parents a break.
So I think that it's really important, particularly if you have one child, to go out and make an effort at making 2 or 3 really good close girlfriends and then help each other out. Because inevitably, something tough is going to happen that you're going to need to deal with. Your kids are going to get sick. You're going to have a situation.
So good. And I found even like with my friends, some of them even have kids older than mine, right?
Yes.
Like they're in a different season even. But I still can be like, am I crazy? And I'll tell them the situation, like, you're not crazy.
Exactly.
It's normal.
You
It kind of like the sanity goes down.
Yeah. And you have to have women friends to do that.
Yes.
You really do, because it's hard to go to your husband and say, am I crazy? You don't want to ask.
He might be like, yes.
My girlfriends and I used to have something called like the mom squad. And there were 4 of us, and we all got to know each other's kids really well. And we decided that we were going to have some rules on household, movies, dating, different kinds of things.
That you all agreed on.
We all agreed on, and we were going to support each other. And it really helped my kids, they told me later in life, to know there were other adults who thought the same way and had the same rules and didn't want their kids playing video games hour after hour after hour. I wasn't just the only strict kind of crazy mom.
And especially Brittany, when she says, I don't have a village.
Yes.
You need to start it so soon too, even with toddlers, because that kind of thing just escalates and magnifies as it goes on, which I love. So speaking of toddlers, question for you, selfishly, since I have a toddler, that one of the downfalls that I do, and I know I shouldn't do it, but some days I get home from work and she's like, I want to watch Princess Sophia or whatever the thing is. And I'm like, okay, watch one episode for 24 minutes. I'll finish checking email and then we're going to be done. But I'm just exhausted. And sometimes it's kind of a relief, which I hate. And so we really try to minimize screen time. But my question for you is, as a pediatrician, what's the appropriate amount of screen time for a child?
Right. Well, first of all, I wouldn't beat yourself up. You're trying to survive.
Yes, I am.
Please. And I think that if you're kind to yourself, sometimes we treat ourselves far worse than we would ever treat another human being. First half hour I'm home, I need to transition. And the best way for me to transition is to check my emails or whatever. I'm going to give myself a half hour.
Yeah.
And during that half hour, it's perfectly fine to let my daughter watch some shows that I approve of. And then when it's done, then we move on to the next thing. Figure out what works best for you. For a toddler, absolutely no more than an hour a day.
It's good. That's so good.
Yeah.
So an hour a day. Toddlers, moms out there. It's huge. Okay, so moving on to more middle school age kids. Kristen asks, how do you get siblings to stop fighting with each other?
Kristen, if you figure it out, write it. Siblings are naturally competitive with one another. And while we all want to think our children are born with angelic hearts and would never think a mean thought or want to eat anything with sugar in it, well, that's just not true. Kids can be mean, and kids can be mean to their siblings because they know their siblings can't go anywhere. So this is what I recommend doing. Rather than saying no to your kids all day long, pick one behavior that each child does that's most offensive to the other kids. So you sit the child down and say, I've noticed with your sister, this is what you're doing a lot, and it's a bad habit. So I'm going to help you break the habit. So here's how I'm going to help you train yourself to break your habit, because I've learned to break bad habits because I have bad habits too. So this is what we're going to do. And then you come up with a reward system. Every day you go by without yelling at your sister or hitting your sister, I would give them a week's worth. They have to do it for a whole week, and then the reward at the end. The older the child, the longer you can delay the gratification.
That's good.
There's nothing wrong with a reward system. The second way you can really interrupt that is play a game and have the kids at the dinner table say one nice thing about each person at the table.
Oh, that's good.
And the most fun things come out of their mouths.
Yes. I feel like that's like a good memory too. Like
It's a great
yeah.
memory. And they giggle and they don't want to do it. And then they get mad. And then, but you got to do it. That's what it's going to be. So keep it really simple. And over the years, it works.
Yes.
It doesn't work in a week and it doesn't work in a month.
Well, I think that's such an important foundation, even as an adult, because what you speak, and even scripture talks about this, like your words, your tongue. I mean, it's a powerful weapon, right? That that can really do damage. So when you start to learn to speak kindly to people in general, as an adult, like that habit that's in you is so huge too.
The way you talk affects the way you think, which affects your behavior. If kids grow up in a home where they never hear shut up or screaming, when they hear it, they're going to stand back and go, what? I'm not used to that.
Yes.
And a lot of parents slip up. And I hear a lot of parents speak very poorly to their kids. They let their temper run or they use foul language. And then they're upset when their kids are doing it. Well, you can't do that.
Jenny asks, how do you actually get your kids to do chores around the house?
Yeah.
I have my thoughts, Meg. I want yours first, though.
Yeah. Well, I think the most important thing to do, because it can be very frustrating for mothers in particular, because kids, when they don't want to do their chores, they don't want to do anything they draw you into an argument. And most mothers take the bait. We start arguing with our kids on why they should be doing what we're telling them to do. Never do that. When your child is drawing into an argument, don't take the bait. Depersonalize it. Say, wait a minute. You know what? Here's the deal. I'm the one who makes the list of chores. And if you do your chores, this is what you get. Your dad said he gives you a percentage of your allowance or something.
Oh, yeah.
I love
Not allowance, but commission.
Commission.
So do the work you
I've
pay.
never heard of a parent who pays their kids commission. Dave Ramsey would.
I know.
Only Dave would do that. And so you reward them well. At the same time, if they don't do their chores, the consequences are steep.
Yes.
And this is where parents fall down, particularly moms. They don't want to implement consequences. And Rachel, mothers train kids how to treat them. We train people how to treat us.
Amen.
So if we're being talked down to and our kids are criticizing us, we're accepting it and we're training that.
Yeah, well, and it's a big thing because I get parents asking me, especially with the chore stuff, right?
Yes.
Like, so do I make my kids? Because we tell people, do the commission system. If they work, they get paid. If they don't work, they don't get paid. So part of their consequence of not doing the chores is that they're not getting paid. But over time, parents say, well, my kid's not motivated by money. Do I still make them do the chore? And I think about Andy Andrews, where he said, you're not just trying to raise good kids, you're trying to raise kids to become good adults.
Exactly.
And you make them brush their teeth. You make them do their homework. You make them work. Like it's part of, and if they don't after a while, it is, and I say it's disobedience. And it's true. I'm like, they're just clearly defying you. And just because they get paid or not at that point, money's off the table. Like if it's been like a week or two of this, I'm sorry, kid. Like you're just not listening to me.
You're done. Kids need to know how to work. And I talk about this in my discipline class. They need to know what self-control is about because you need self-control in every aspect of life in order to succeed. It's work.
The simple fact of, they're doing something they accomplish, like even when they're young, they learn to accomplish something. They have a goal they're setting out and it's all in that rhythm. So I think that's so good.
And kids, when they're grown up, wear work and chores when they're younger as a badge of honor. My parents made me do chores when I was 8. And my parents made me do chores when I was 12. And they puff up when they say it. It's a badge of honor.
Yeah, that's so good. And if you parents out there need practical information on how to implement this with your kids, check out Financial Peace Junior. It's a great tool that really helps with this whole thing we're talking about with chores and working and all of it. And Meg, you have a ton of free info and content and everything. So tell us about that.
Yeah, I really encourage people to go to megmeekermd.com/Rachel because we are offering your audience 20% off my new Discipline with Courage and Kindness course, which I love. And we have a lot of other stuff that I'd really like to just give your listeners. megmeekermd.com/Rachel.
Thank you so much for coming in. And guys, make sure to check out that website for more information.